Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to the Wii version of Pikmin on day 8. We are making another trip to the distant spring, mostly because this is the only place we can go to that has ship parts right now. And boy does it have a lot of ship parts. We're going to be gathering another 3 parts today. Leaving 4 parts for day 9, which seems like a bit of a daunting task, but in reality, it's really not going to be that bad. And we're going to gather these ship parts, once again, by completely ignoring the red Pikmin, because we just don't need them. It is all about the blues and the yellows on this map, especially the blues, but the yellow guys are definitely going to be putting in some work. We need to get them all flowered up, though, so they can be all sorts of fast. And, it does bring me to a subject of the nectar, and how it's kind of weird in Pikmin 1. Because basically, once Pikmin start drinking nectar, it sort of, like, locks out other Pikmin from diving in there and taking a swig of it. So it's entirely possible, and does happen very often, that if a single Pikmin starts drinking the nectar, they will drink the entire thing and not let other Pikmin enjoy it. Like, greedy little son of a guns. So really, to make the best use of nectar, you have to make sure you're trying to swarm the nectar pile. So as many Pikmin as possible can make use of its delicious, flowery goodness. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting it, and that's no good. It's no good indeed. But, I guess that's really not super important in the grand scheme of things. Even if you're using, like, mostly leaf Pikmin, you can still get a lot done. It's just that when you're aiming for speed like I am on this playthrough, you really have to try and get the flower Pikmin and their handy-dandy speed boosts on your side. Because otherwise you kind of just end up having a bad time and you just can't quite get things done as much as you would like. It is honestly doing this quickly, trying to do this very quickly, it honestly did make me appreciate the flower Pikmin a lot more than I once did, because I never really thought about it much in just a casual playthrough. I never really cared enough. But in all reality, having that little extra speed boost so the flower Pikmin can get things back faster is definitely very helpful. And I found the gluon drive! Using this quark bending metaphysical properties of gluons, this device, well, it's very scientific, and I don't fully understand it myself, but it was very expensive. Very good. Also one of the heaviest parts in the game, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there are many other parts, or any other parts, actually, that take 50 Pikmin to carry them. Not that I can really recall, honestly. And, now we approach this little area, full of Wollywogs, which is very annoying. And, I discovered a great way to take care of the swooping snitch bug here, completely on accident. Have him grab a Pikmin, and have him just throw the bomb Pikmin to the ground. In which case, he just explodes, because he threw an explosive against the ground. Otherwise, it really doesn't end up working out. Swooping snitch bugs, they can't kill your Pikmin, but how they kind of just grab your Pikmin and terrorize them, just very annoying, and it can be difficult to sort of make your mark and take care of them effectively. But as I discovered completely by accident, having them just pick up a bomb and blow themselves up seems to be the most effective strategy, honestly. Speaking of strategies, I discovered here also that taking care of Wollywogs by just having your yellow Pikmin throw bombs at them actually works out quite well. Get more on that in a moment. We need to talk about the gluon drive. I have no idea how this works, but it means the dolphin will again lift off with its characteristic roar. I have now recovered 23 of 30 parts. If I can find just 6 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. But yes, taking care of Wollywogs with bomb rocks. In the GameCube version, I adopted the strategy of just tricking Wollywogs to jump on my Pikmin while they were holding a bomb, and it blew them up. And it also blew up my Pikmin. That's because in Pikmin 1 on GameCube, the bomb rock mechanics are so just kind of awkward and weird that you can't really reliably rely on your Pikmin to just use their bombs. Yeah, because they have that weird thing, where if you throw a Pikmin in the GameCube version holding a bomb rock, it behaves differently than if they're dismissed. And if you try to whistle your Pikmin back, your bomb rock Pikmin back after they've been thrown, they will then drop their bombs and they'll just explode. And they don't, at least not from my experience, they don't really reliably target and throw bombs at enemies in most cases. They do, but they honestly will have a hard time making their mark. And they'll also end up having a hard time just actually doing what you want them to do. It's a little hard to explain. But in most cases, trying to use bomb rocks to defeat enemies in Pikmin 1 on GameCube without, like, totally just sacrificing your Pikmin in the process, it just doesn't work in most situations. And the fastest way to do things is to just sacrifice your Pikmin to the explosion by having them get eaten or whatever. And it just works out much better that way. In the Wii version, though, they did adjust how the bomb rocks work, and yellow Pikmin will typically more reliably make their mark when you throw them, and they decide to throw their bomb rocks at an enemy. Not always. It's still kind of an imperfect system, because sometimes an enemy will start moving, and the yellow Pikmin will completely miss. Or sometimes I've even seen bomb rocks just bounce off of enemies and then explode like a couple feet away when they make impact with the ground. It's not super intuitive, and in most situations it still doesn't work out very well. But I did end up discovering that relying on the throw bomb rocks strategy in at least the Wii version with Wollywogs, I guess theoretically it could also work in the GameCube version. I just never really thought to try it. And actually, throwing bomb rocks at Wollywogs does end up working out much better than you might initially think. Because the Wollywogs have that sort of long animation where they hang out in the air and in one place for a while, and it gives your yellow Pikmin an opportunity to back up and line up their shot. And it just ends up working. I wish I thought of that a little sooner, so maybe I wouldn't have had to sacrifice as many Pikmin as I ended up doing through this playthrough. But just kind of having enemies land on and be fed to enemies. I mean, what am I trying to say? Having yellow Pikmin get smashed and eaten while holding bombs is just generally a really fast way to take care of enemies, so I don't regret any of it. What I do regret, however, is using, or rather, not using my bomb rocks on this bramble gate here, which I had completely forgotten about at this point. And I ended up really kicking myself because I wanted to blow down this gate quickly with bomb rocks. And I ended up wasting them all on the black rock gate that, hi Clyde, by the way. I ended up using them on that black rock gate, and I did not even have enough bomb rocks to knock it down all the way. Basically, I ended up... Oh, it's the zirconium rotor! This is made from rust-proof zirconium, which is particularly suited to making spaceship parts. I had to pay a lot extra to have this installed, and I suspect the mechanic overcharged me. Oh, poor Olimar. Poor Olimar, indeed. We don't have enough blues there to actually pick it up, so we need to make a run back to get the blue Pikmin. But yeah, I ended up wasting my bombs on that black bomb rock gate, because I wanted to at least knock it down partially, and I didn't have enough bombs to finish it off, so I would be able to take care of it faster on a later day. But, yeah, I completely forgot about the other gate that I wanted to knock down, and I was really kicking myself for that after the fact. So the yellows are going to have to just knock that down manually. While we take the blues over this way to grab another spaceship part, the pilot's seat. Once I get this installed, my cockpit will finally be back in order. Soon my ship will be starting to look more and more like the Dolphin of old. Ah, the memories. Very handy that Olimar has found his seat. And, they do have to kind of take a long way around to get those parts back, but it really just ends up being much more effective. And the distance spring has all sorts of little handy alcoves and shortcuts and stuff that Olimar can sneak through that I often forgot about in most cases. And it really would have saved a lot of time for me to actually remember how to do that, so I didn't end up like just standing around and waiting and taking the long way around to get back to camp and things like that. But yeah, I guess hindsight is 20/20. As is the hindsight of remembering that I wanted to use those bombs to blow down this gate, so I wouldn't have to wait for Pikmin to knock it down, because I also needed the Pikmin to build the bridge up there. It's going to be a little ramp leading down, and I really needed to get that done before the end of the day. And I end up cutting things a bit close here, honestly. But the zirconium rotor is back. Very nice indeed. Zirconium rotor, made of rust-proof zirconium. It is shiny as new. It's shiny as new, despite being left out of this planet's harsh elements. I have now recovered 24 of 30 parts. If I can find just 5 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Very good. And the pilot sheet should not be too far behind. And yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of hoping to God that the Pikmin get that gate knocked down in time so I could get that bridge built on time. And, by the way, yes, the pilot seat is back. Picturing this in the cockpit, images of me lifting off into space begin to fill my taxed brain. It fills me with inspiration once again. I have now recovered 25 of 30 parts. If I can find just 4 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Very good. Very good indeed. And yeah, that's the last part we're going to end up getting today, if you couldn't tell. The day is almost done. And things did not quite go as planned because I'm a doofus and I just completely spaced on this gate, and yeah. The rest of this footage is just me in this spot, kind of panicking because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get all of this done in the time I wanted to. And there's an armored cannon beetle up there just being a jerk, spitting rocks at us because he's a butt. and things like that. And we wait. We sit here and wait. Thankfully, with a few more Pikmin working, we do get this bridge downward built a little more effectively. Really cutting it close, though, with the final countdown here. Not wanting to leave our Pikmin behind, because even though Olimar is nearby, if they're not in his squad, they will succumb to the creatures of the night. And that would have been 29 Pikmin left after sunset, and that would have been very tragic. But we do get that built, even though I screwed up on it, and trying desperately to keep my Pikmin from picking that grass, because that would have been very bad, too. I think that would have counted them as leaving my squad. And that brings day 8 to a close. Oh joy. Oh joy. The shearwigs emerge from the ground, with nothing to eat, and we take off into the atmosphere once more. 8 days since impact. If I can just find 5 more parts, the dolphin will be fully rebuilt, but time has grown short. I must not flag in my search. Even if I cannot recover every part, I will not give up. Surely some of those parts aren't absolutely necessary. I can almost see my smiling family. Well, Olimar, since there are 22 days remaining, I don't really think you have much to worry about, but you know. And we get to see our Pikmin totals for the day. We sprouted 0, lost 11 in battle, most of which were from us exploding them purposefully to defeat enemies. Which is still very cruel, but it's just the way that things have to get done. And we left nobody behind. We're doing pretty good on that in the Wii version of the game. Not leaving Pikmin behind. And, yeah. That's going to call it for right now. Thank you very much for watching. This is your good friend Sparky signing off, and I will see you next time.